All right, so for our grid layout, all we need to do to begin is we're going to go ahead and set the display of the parent container, which in our case, the parent container is a master grid container, this class, this guy right here. And then we're just going to go ahead and set the display for this one to be grid. And then this is how we get started with the grid layout. And now we only have one child element here, but let's make it more interesting so that we can showcase the full capability of the grid layout. So for example, one of the really cool things about grid layouts is we have a lot of control over how many columns and how many rows you have in the parent container. So for example, if you want to have 3 different columns and 2 different rows, then you can do that, and then your child elements can be organized as such. So for example, let's create a bunch of sibling child elements here. And now they're all going to just stack on top of each other, and it's not going to make any sense. But we can fix that with by defining rows and columns in our grid. So we're going to get started by defining the rows. And the way we do that was we type in grid template rows. And then with grid template rows, you are not going to be typing in 3 for 3 rows, which seems like the more intuitive way of doing it. It's actually a little bit less intuitive. So for example, if you want 2 rows that are 100 pixels tall, then you're going to be typing in 100 pixels and 100 pixels. So first row is going to be 100 pixels, and then second row is going to be 100 pixels. If you want one row to be 100 pixels and the other one to be 200 pixels, then you can write 100 pixels and 200 pixels. And if you want 3 rows, then you can just type in another measurement. So now we have 1 row 100 pixels, 1 200 pixels, and then 1 is, you get the point. For now, let's just keep it even. Let's have them both be the same size. And the easiest way of doing that is not to type in an exact number, but instead if we type in auto, then we're just saying we want one row whose height is automatically determined, and another row whose height is also automatically determined. Cool. So now we have 2 different rows, and their heights are both automatically determined. And now if we type in grid template columns, we can go ahead and create our columns in the same way that rows work. We are going to be defining each column through their widths. So we could have one column that's 50 pixels wide, and then another one that's 100 pixels wide, and so forth. But let's just go ahead and set them to auto. So now we have 3 columns and 2 rows. And then now cool. And now you can see that they're organized very evenly now. You have all of the child elements divided into each column and row. In no other way can you organize things so well in CSS, and now these are all of these children are all in the top left of their columns and rows. What if we want them centered within their columns and rows? Well, then we can go ahead and go to the children here, the child elements, and then we can just say align self center, and then this vertically aligns them, and then we can say justify self center, and then now they're aligned exactly center aligned to each column and row. So yeah, this is a really cool way of organizing your website, So yeah, hope you Hope you enjoyed it, and please leave a like if you liked this, and please subscribe for more. Thank you.